Hello, yes, welcome to the UDL Season 1 Power Rankings, presented by yours truly, I volunteered to do these. I don't know why this was a pain. This took a long time to Power Rankings 3 separate divisions, and now I'm gonna put them all into a video, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Anyways, I'm gonna start off with the Kyurem division, and all your divisions will be in the description, like timestamps of when they all started, so you can just skip to your division if you don't wanna take the time out of your day to watch the other ones. That's completely fine. You can do that. Anyways, I'm gonna start with last place of the Meowth division. We have Matsuri. If I butcher your name, it's your fault for having such a complicated name. Okay, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. Blame yourself. You put this upon yourself. Anyways, it's Stall. All right. I think Stall is a terrible playstyle. It's slow, it's boring, it's unnecessary. You could have picked any fun playstyle and you picked this, right? And my biggest qualm with Stall, or my biggest issue, I don't know if qualm is even a word, probably is, but anyways, that's besides the point, is that this playstyle is so passive, man. It's so passive. And passive is just not good in draft, in my opinion, because you can't break other walls. Like, what the hell do you do to a Clefable? A Clefable can come in on half your team. No, on like 90% of your mons. It can come in on Comfey, it can come in on Mercury, it can come in on Sigilif, it can come in on this thing, this, and this. It can come in on literally everything and just teleport out. And get momentum for free. You do not beat Clefable. You just simply do not, because it will just teleport out. Bring in Breaker, claim a kill. That is just how it will work. Hoopa-You will dick you down. I don't care that you have a Sableye. They can prep for that Sableye. So Hoopa-You has to have something that it can do. I don't know. I haven't checked. I'm just saying Hoopa-You as an example, as a breaker. You know, like, that's my biggest problem with your team, is that it's so passive, so it can't do anything to other walls. So you just straight up lose to other walls, which is a huge problem, in my opinion. Also, Cosmic Power Clefable. What do you do? It probably doesn't even need recover. No, wait. Moonblast plus Store Power will dick your whole team down. Okay, you can go Clef, sure. I mean, talk specs, sure. Anyways, I don't know what I'm fucking talking about anymore, bro. Stall is so gay. You have walls for everything, but you have no breakers, which is the biggest problem with Stall, in my opinion. Also, Taunt. You taunt. Get out of here, bro. It's Stall. Anyways, now it's Talos Knight. Talos Knight is like the 11th place of this power rankings. My biggest issue is that this guy dropped, right? He dropped out of the league already after week 1. He got bodied week 1, so he dropped out. I don't know if that's why or that's the case, but that's just what happens. And here's his team. It's probably a little bit big and not even centered on your screen, because I made the OBS thing to be like fit for the format of the docs and not a Discord image. Anyways, you can see his whole team. The top one is Top Infinity. You're just missing out on his name. Anyways, I'm still gonna talk about it even though it dropped, because I have notes for it and I don't want my shit to go to waste. So, this is a sand team that hates sand up. Not only does it hate sand, it also loves sand, because Excadrill benefits from it and Mega Garchomp benefits from it. But the rest of your team hates it. Top Infinity can't get leftovers recovery from it. Arcanine can't Morning Sun in sand, because it'll do like no health back. Webs are pretty much useless, in my opinion, on your team, because either you have much speed or you have no speed in Garchomp, and Garchomp can just scale shot anyways. So I personally don't think webs are very needed. You don't really have like a slow breaker even that can benefit from it, like a Hoopa-You. Again, I'm using Hoopa-You as an example. Or like a Medicham. You have like something that can actually speed boost and just win the game on its own. But I think your speed tiers are horrible. Your fastest mon is a fucking spider. Your second fastest mon, I think, is Excadrill. Or stop thinking faster. I don't fucking know, dude. But you know, that's a problem. I mean, those is your fastest mon outside of sand. And the only one that's even fast in sand is an Excadrill. And nobody's gonna speed prep Excadrill in sand unless they're going like Scarf something to bait it. So every breaker can pretty much, every high speed mon can go Adamant or Bulky Nature. You can't do anything about it. They don't need to outspeed much. And also, yeah, your team gets dicked on by ground types. I know you have a Weezing Galar, but that's it. That's all you have. Your grass type doesn't resist ground. And that's a huge problem I have with this team. Yes, so now that's out of the way. I'll go to 10th place, which is Lemuro, my boy, my homie. Yeah, where do I start? My biggest issue with this thing is that Dracovish doesn't count as a Pokemon, in my opinion. It counts as a move. This is not a Pokemon, it's a move. It's Fish's Rend, and that's all you click. You're never gonna click anything else, and therefore it doesn't serve as a water type on this team. So this team, in my opinion, lacks a water type. Because you simply do not have anything for it. You just don't have any bulky water. You have a Dracovish. That's your water type. And as I said before, it counts as a move and not a type, in my opinion. Also, you don't really have anything to help Vish succeed on this team. You have a Rillaboom, sure. But what comes in on a Vish? Let's think about it. Grass types and water types. What comes in on Scald on your team? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Aromatisse hates getting burnt. Rillaboom definitely don't want to get burnt. Klefki doesn't mind it. Probably Noivern is your best water switching. And they can Ice Beam Noivern. You know what I mean? Like, you have nothing for Scald, in my opinion, because everything hates getting burnt. And when Noivern is your best switch into Scald, and every water type has an Ice move, that's a big yikes, in my opinion. So yeah, you hard lose to Scald. And bulky grass types can pretty much just Toxic. They can just click Toxic whenever they come in on. Like you have Moltres for grass types, sure, but they can just Toxic the Moltres. So I personally don't think you have like the support for Dracovish. So I'm gonna move on to 9th, which is Fade. And I'm just gonna say, where's your rocker? Why is your rocker a crocodile? Why is that your only rocker? What? I don't like that. I don't like that. Crocodile is the only rocker. And you don't have a bulky water type either. You have Keldeo, which is it's a good mon. I like Keldeo. But you're on a bulky water type, which is big to have on each team. It's nice to have a bulky water type. And you don't have breakers. I know you have a Darmanitan and a Keldeo, but they don't break water types. They do not break a water type. Mega Slowbro or Toxapex or all those mons can just come in on those repeatedly, eat moves, and just be an ass. And you just can't break them. You just can't. I don't care that the Darmanitan has U-turn for Slowbro and that it has Earthquake for Toxapex. They can eat one easily. They easily live, and you just can't break them. It's just your breakers don't synergize with each other. They don't break for each other. They don't make way for one another. They don't. And Zygarde, don't get me started on that, man. That one is better defensively. I've used it before in draft, and every time I put it on my team, I used it as defensive. I didn't use it any other way. And I just moved a bit in my chair. Sorry about that. Thwacky. What the fuck is a Thwacky, my guy? What the hell is this Pokemon? It has his arm crossed like it's about to like whip a nene. It's like, yeah, look at me, I'm dancing. I just did a cool move, yeah. I'm just waiting for you to respond now. Please say something cool. That's the vibes Thwacky gives me. The hell is this Pokemon? It's your only grass type and it's a fucking Thwacky, my guy? Hell nah, that's just a terrible mon. Shouldn't even be drafted. Anyways, moving on to 8th, which is Faisal. Faisal, I know you, dog. You're a homeboy. But this team, this ain't it, dog. This ain't it. You have a HO team, which is fair. HO, That's okay. But you don't have a HO team. The way I mean by that is that where's your dragon type is a Haxorus. No, not a Haxorus. It's a fracture. It's a fracture of a Haxorus, dude. It's just a half of a Haxorus. I made a funny pun. I hope you get it. Please laugh. Subscribe for more. Especially when you have Veil, you should have a better setup mon than a Haxorus. You could have had like anything that could set up a Dragon Lance, that could abuse the Veil, that could just set up Quiver Lances and just clean. But the only Dragon Dancer you have is a Mega Aerodactyl. Which is fair, but I think you should have a different one. I think you should have more than just a Aerodactyl that can abuse the Veil. And then, don't even get me started on the walls you have. You have 3 walls. A Doublade, which is more of like a pivot, it can take a few hits and then die. And then you have 2 that stops your whole momentum. You have a Gastrodon, which sucks on HO teams, because what the hell does it do? It comes in and does nothing. It doesn't get a rocks for you, which is the first thing. You only have one. You have 3 rockers, to be fair. But aside from on Gastrodon itself, it doesn't do anything for your team. It's just a wall that's just gonna lose you all the momentum and all the power you have. In my opinion, of course. It depends how you play this shit. But this is a HO team. And with HO, a Gastrodon is not a HO mon. Unless you're trying to do some Miracle Rindoberry shit and be fancy, and I don't see how this thing can do anything for you. And then we have Shaman. Another mon that I just do not like on this team. It doesn't get any... Does it get Baton Pass? Does Shaman get Baton Pass? I got no clue, dude. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't give you any momentum. It just ruins it. It stops your momentum. You can like, yeah, I'm just gonna get all this momentum, just kill Pokemon left and right. But my walls are gonna be completely ruin all that. They're not gonna have Flip Turn. They're not gonna have anything. So, personally, I don't like your walls here. I think Ditto. I think Ditto would have done fantastic on a team like this. Then you can't be killed. Your walls don't have to... You don't need any walls if you have a Ditto. Because then you can just revenge kill everything. Guaranteed. Pretty much. Depends if they have a move to actually hit themselves with. But most Dragon types and most Quiver Dancers and most of those stuff has stuff they can hurt themselves with. So, that's the thing. But yeah. Other than that, I think your team sucks. Sorry, bro. I just be like that. I think it's too passive. Sorry, man. And next up is Mystic. Mystic 07. Where do I even start, man? This team is this team has no removers. Where do your removers go, bro? You have a Tapu Koko that can remove hazards, and no, I know you're looking at Dara Marlo thinking that, oh, look at that, I have another remover. What are you talking about? No, shut the fuck up, man. Armaldo ain't no goddamn remover. This shit's an unmon. It's never coming to a game. And if you bring this to a game, you're trolling. This mon sucks. This mon is absolute doo-doo. This mon is... I can literally shit better mons out my ass than this Pokemon. So yeah. You have no rocks removers. Getting hazard stacked is a huge problem versus your team. Because Tapu Koko, which is more of a pivot mon than anything, it's gonna struggle to fit that move on. It's gonna struggle to fit defog on it. And it's gonna struggle to be a reliable defogger, especially when most rockers are ground types. So you have a good wall core, I'll give you that. I love your wall core and all that. But your hazards are just very bad. But while you have a good wall core, I don't think you have breakers that can help you out. I think you also have like a bit of a stalker problem, that you can't break stuff. Because yes, you have Garchomp, but that's about it. That's about all you have. Other than that, you need to set up to start doing stuff. And that's very dangerous, relying on setup to do damage for you. I mean, I guess you do have the Mienshao, which can run like Reckless High Jump Kick and do like a ton of damage with that as like a surprise factor. But other than that, you don't really have much to just instantly start doing damage. And Tapu Koko doesn't count. That mon is more of a pivot than anything. I rarely see that thing do breaker damage. Like, boom, I'm gonna break you down, I'm gonna take you and put you up against the wall and call you bad names. BDSM, woo. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna move on. I have ruined my reputation And I need water. Hold on, be right back. Sorry about that. Stay hydrated, kids. I had to turn off my fan for this quality, and it is like 30 degrees in my room. So I'm sweating my balls off, alright? Everything I do for you guys. Anyways, next we have Fatal Pert. That's how you say it, right? Fatal Pert? I hope so. You have good momentum. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You have very good momentum. Your walls can give momentum. But then, where's your rocker, bro? Why do people hate rocks, man? Lando T? Is that your only rocker? Seriously? What if you want to scarf Lando T for a matchup? Who's gonna set up rocks for you? That Garbodor? That thing sets up T-Spikes. It doesn't set up rocks for you. No, it does not. So, another team that has very bad rockers, in my opinion. Having at least 2 in Shroud. I know this sounds crazy of me to say. I know this is a hot take. But I think you have bad removal as well. I know you have 3 I guess Latios also gets it, but you have 4 mons that gets this move. But in theory, none of them wants to run Defog. Unless you're running like Bulky Lando. Bulky Lando is the only one that actually wants to run Defog. And even then, that's not that great, because Bulky Lando is not very good in my opinion. Because of the fact that it just gets walled. It just gets walled and set up on, because it's just too bulky. Can't really do much. And yes, you have Scizor, which is a great defogger. But I've used Scizor a lot in draft myself. And the amount of times I don't want to have defog on it, and I just run no defog on it, is a lot. I've never used Latios, personally. But I don't see defog being your most optimal move on that either. And, Florges, that can defog. But I don't think it's a good one. I don't think you want defog on that one either, so... Personally, I think you're gonna, like, hate having to sacrifice a move for defog on this team. And... I think it's a slow draft. I think it's a very slow draft. Your fastest mon is Latios. And then... This draft is very, like, in the 80 to 100 range when it comes to mons. Like, this thing being, like, fast, this thing being fast, this thing... I guess you have a Alolan Persian, but bro, this is an Unmon. Who cares about this? So, these 2 are, like, your fastest. And that's not very fast, in my opinion. Moving on. I can't talk too much about each team. This video can't be 2 hours long. I'm gonna move on to 5th, which is a Haunch. Haunch, I love your name. I love your name, Haunch. But your draft, oof, I don't like it. I don't like it. Nope. I know you're 5th, but I don't like any draft in Meowth. I like 2 of them. I like 2 of the drafts in Meowth, and that's it. You have a good breaker. You have many good breakers. In Victini, in Terrakion, and Salamence, Makamawa, Aurora, and even a Araquanid to some extent. But then your walls are ass. All your walls are susceptible to chip damage, except for Gourgeist. That's the only one that can recover off damage. And you have no Wish Passer. So you have to play a very offensive game every game to win. Which you can do. With all your breakers. You can do that. But personally, I wouldn't want to do that. I want to be able to stop stuff. I don't want to be set up on once and then just lose because I have nothing to tank a hit. So yeah. I hate to say it, but you have a very Dragon Weak team. Especially when your Steel Fairy type is a breaker and not a good wall. Like, Megamon can take 1 hit for sure because it has Intimidate and all that. But I don't think it's a reliable one. I think Dragon types you will struggle with that. Like Garchomp, oh, sorry about that. Garchomp will go ham on you. There's not much you can do about it either. Yes, you have Gourgeist, but Garchomp doesn't care too much about Gourgeist. Because, you know, he's just gonna fucking Sword Stance and Scale Shot you and just do a ton of damage. I haven't done the calcs, don't quote me. Because, you know, I'm still scratching at surface level here. So, next up on the draft is a fantasy 4th place. Oh boy, I can't really believe we allowed Mega Alakazam and banned Dragapult. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. You have good speed tiers, I'll give you that. Actually, wait. Well, there's a bit of a jump between a Duck and Rock and Alakazam, but there's not much that can fit in between there, I guess. But your speed tiers are average, actually. You have very average speed tiers. And then again, I'm saying it again, this is another team that has sad rocks. By sad rocks, I mean a team that has bad rockers. You have 2 of them in Gligar and Lycanroc Dusk. Lycanroc Dusk does not want to run rocks. And you know it doesn't. That motherfucker don't want to run rocks for anything in the world. And then you have Gligar, which is a bad Pokemon. That mon is bad. That mon is terrible. Take it from me who've used that mon before, that mon is doo-doo. And it says a rock, sure, but it's low tier. And I don't think a low I like to have a high tier defogger and a high tier rocker in every draft. I think that's good. Because then you can like almost have them every game. Guaranteed, pretty much. You have good momentum. You do. You have very good momentum. And that's good for your draft. Which has, you know, Mega Alakazam. You have good momentum in Zapdos, Hydreigon, and Gligar. You know, I just say Gligar isn't gonna come. Whimsicott. And, does Alakazam have a Baton Pass? I don't know if it does. I think it does. Well, if it does, you have that as well. That's a Baton Pass, just in case. But if that shit gets Baton Pass, they can't get Pursuit Trapped. That's wild. That's wild. There's no way it gets Baton Pass. Anyways, I'm not gonna check this. Anyway, next on the third place of the Kyurem division, we have a Mr. Frank Bucket. I love your name, Frank. Frank is such a funny name. You have solid bulk, alright? I'll give you that. You have Wish Passers. You have a fucking insane bulk. It's gonna be hard after break your team. You have good momentum for Kyurem. Kyurem is a good Pokemon. Okay, don't underestimate that guy. That Pokemon will click buttons and claim. It's a good mon. My only issue with this team is the removal. Like the hazard removal. Especially when you have Kyurem, which does not want to run boots. It does not. Donphan, it's an okay mon. But it's not very good at removal because it can pretty much only do it once. It can pretty much only come in like once or twice. It's not very bulky to like take hits like constantly and live forever. I guess you have Wish Pass. I guess you have that as your backup to heal it up, but I don't think that's very reliable. Crobat doesn't want to run defog most of the time. It wants to run Nasty Plot. It wants to run all these coverage moves, which you can't run if you're running defog. But yeah, that's pretty much my only qualm with this team. The only reason why it's third and not first is because the other teams were better. Just simply better. I think it's a solid team you got here. Yeah, nothing more to say really. Well, second is Mary. Mary. I don't know where to start. Your team is fucking wilding, okay? On my notes, like I have like notes next to me, right? That I read off right now. I'm not reading like a script. No way I'm gonna write all this. No way. I have like bullet points. Your team is wilding. Alright, that's one of my notes. Your team is fucking wild. I swear to God. Holy shit. Mega Answer, Tornthea, Mammo, Swine, Rotom, Wash, Greninja. Shit. Have fun. Have fun, dude. Dealing with this momentum and this power. Shit, that's gonna be a pain. Glad I'm not in your division. You have insane support from Mega DNC, which is the best part. You have good momentum for it. You have tanks that can easily take on stuff that Mega DNC can't. I know Mega Scizor is one thing that can come in if it predicts correctly. And you have so much stuff that can just come in on Mega Scizor and just stop it in its tracks. You have this thing, you have this thing, you have fucking even this tree can stop all these stupid mons. And Your hazards are crazy as well. What the hell? You have spikes, T-spikes, spikes and T-spikes with this, spikes on this, rocks. Even leech seed. You have good removal as well in this thing and this thing. I mean, you could say it's a bit lackluster actually in the removal department because Torn T, I run Nasty Plot Torn T most of the time. I don't run Defog most of the time. I don't like Defog on Torn T. But on like a supportive Torn T where you just want to knock off stuff, you just want to be like support, you just want to come in, U-turn, get out, then it's okay. Defog is okay on that. And Rotom Wash Defog is really reliable on Rotom Wash. I'll give you that. And you also have Magic Bounce, the fair, just the constant fair of the Magic Bounce. So yeah, you just get a bonus point for having a Memo Swine on this team because that makes this team so much more threatening. Yeah, honestly, solid draft. It's just a shame that I like the other one more. This is a draft I would love to try out myself, to be honest. Anyways, number 1, the first place winner goes to, drumroll, I'm not going to edit in drumrolls because I'm too lazy, but it is Edster! Edster, my boy, my homie. I don't know you personally, but yo, you have a lot of stuff in common with my team from last season, from season 1 of the LPFT, which is what this draft league was before it rebranded. Yeah, what you have in common with my team from last season is you got the Spectrier, you got the Nidoqueen, and you got the Tapu Lele. Alright, that is solid mons. You have good you have insane power, right? Because you added a Weavile to the squad. Alright? I did not have a Weavile. I had I can't even remember what I had. But you had added power, you have insane removal in Hitmonchan, this sexy beast, and this thing, Corviknight. You can see I'm clicking on them if I'm clicking on the blue things, where it becomes blue in case you missed that. Anyways, you have power, crazy power, insane. The only issue with this team is that you have one rocker. That is my biggest issue with this team. Is that it's one rocker. But everywhere else, it is solid. And Nidoqueen always brings rocks when it comes. So that's a good thing. It's not one of those ones that you have to struggle to fit on. It pretty much fits on every time. Rocks are just good on Nidoqueen. So yeah, that is the Kyurem division. I hope you're still with me. Because right now, I'll be moving on to Reshiram. This shit is wilding, I'm telling you. Okay, I'll just exit out my notes. And no, that is the okay, perfect. So Reshiram had the most amount of drafts that I liked. I just want to put that out there. It has the most amount of drafts that I liked personally. So it was hard to rank these teams. But bottom, it is 12. In 12th place is Tranny Cran. Tranny Cran. Is that how you say your name? I hope it is. Yeah. I just want to say this is anti-synergy. You have screens, but you have nothing to abuse screens. You have what Faisal had in Meowth. He had one dragon answer. You have none. You have a dog. You have a literal dog as your dragon answer. And that is not a good screen abuser. That shit will drop to an ice beam even if screens are up. Most dragons can set up even if screens are even on ice moves depending on which mods. But this dog will drop. It will straight up die. It will fall over and die to an ice beam even if screens are up. It doesn't matter. And you have a regen core, I guess, in 20. But 20 doesn't really fit very well on this team. It gives momentum. It can knock off. But it's not like... If you had a Magnusol, I could see it. Because then you can trap steel types. You put so much pressure on steel types to perform this matchup. So stuff like, I don't know, Nihilego can go ham. Your speeders are good. I'll give you that. Are they good? I just got. Yeah. They're somewhat good at least, right? You don't have 100 base speed. You don't have that, but that's okay in some drafts. I guess you do have a big jump in from Darmanitan to the Grimsnarl to Conk to Stoke to all these like bitches. I guess there's a big jump there, so that's bad. But you have like in the higher ups, you have okay. But your power, as I said before, they struggle with water types. Darmanitan and Melmetal, they can't be water types. They just cannot be water types. So yeah, I don't have much to say other than that. I just don't like your team. I think it's very underwhelming. Very weak in the wall department as well. Next, we have XPCF Wintergreen. I do not know how to say your team, but I will try again. XPC Wintergreen. That is the best you're gonna get. Nothing more, nothing less. I miss power on this team. I miss like a Medichan. I miss like a Hoopayu. I miss a Kartana. Something that can come in and kill. Rillaboom is, I guess you can call it a good breaker, but it can be walled pretty easily. And Rillaboom is your only breaker. It is your only. The rest of your mons are bulky. I guess not Cinderace, but Cinderace doesn't count, man. That doesn't have Libero. It gets walled by every water type in the game. The same as fucking Zygarde. You know, I don't think Cinderace is good. Personally. Also, it's your fastest speed mon. Your speed tears are pretty bad. You have no 100 baser. You have... Your fastest mon is Tornadus Incarnate. I guess. And I do not like Ditto on this team. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Especially when you have a Clefable that can run unaware. I don't like Ditto. I simply don't. On this team, I like Ditto on HO teams more. So, I'm just gonna move on to the next one. I think your team is pretty bad. Sorry, bro. It is what it is. Next is 10th, the only one. The only one. The only one. He is actually just the only one. You have one Volt Switch Mon, bro. Your momentum is ass. You have Flip Turn Blastoise and fucking Coco. That is your 2 momentum mons. And you also lack power. Another team. You don't like powers. You just lack breakers. You have 2 good cleaners in Hawlucha. Hawlucha is a phenomenal cleaner. The same with Charizard X. They can just come in when stuff is whittled down and just clean the games. But what do you have to whittle stuff down? You have a defensive matchup. You have to defensively break everything down slowly but surely. You don't have like a Hoopayu that can come in and just damage something. You know, I keep using Hoopayu. There are plenty of other breakers. Hoopayu is just the one I'm thinking of in the moment. And your team does not have the defog support for a fucking Charizard X. Charizard X needs hella defoggers to work. And when your hazard removals are your momentum mons, that's already 2 moves they need. These 2 can only run like 2 extra moves. And that's pretty bad in my opinion. That's pretty bad. Yeah, I just don't like this team. It's bulky. Sure, you have the walls, good synergy, and these 3. But other than that, I'm not very impressed. 9th, we have Nixie or Nix. I don't think it's Nixie, but it kind of looks like it because I've never seen someone called Nix with an E at the end. So it's like Nixie. It sounds like it's Nixie. But I don't know if your team is just Nix or just Nixie. I couldn't tell you. Anyways, you also copied some of my team from last season. You didn't copy, of course, because you didn't know. But you have like a lot of stuff that I had, which is what I'm trying to say here. I'm not trying to say that I'm not copywriting my team from last season. But it's just kind of funny how 2 people made very similar teams to what I had. But the reason why yours is way lower than the other one is because you don't have like a solid. What made my team work so well was the fact that I had a Blissey that could just take hits from everything and just teleport out and give momentum to all my breakers. You don't really have that. You don't really have the Blissey that I had. You have an Audino, but that doesn't get teleport. Audino cannot teleport. The things you had that I had was a Keldeo, Nidoqueen, Tapu Lele, and Aggron. They're all solid mons. I had a Rotom Wash instead of Rotom Heat, but they're pretty much the same mon anyways. So you have removal. I like your removal, but I just don't. You know, I don't see the walls on your team. Even though you have all these stuff, you will struggle. I mean, I guess you have walls, but there's just something missing. And that is very vague. I realize how vague that is. But my team had that momentum, that teleport. The other team had a Slowking that could teleport. You do not have that. Pretty much that's my qualm with this team. It's that it lacks that big oomph to get all your breakers in. Yes, you have momentum and this thing and this thing, but that's it. I guess Flip Turn Keldeo, but I don't think I've ever clicked Flip Turn with Keldeo. So you pretty much only have like 3 very mediocre pivoting options, which I don't like. That is my biggest issue with this team. So next up, I'll move on now. Sorry for jabbering. Alright, I'm sorry about that cut in the video. Some stuff came up, but I'm back now. Sorry about that. Next up, we have Patapik. We're in 8th, by the way. And no matter how many times I say this, I can't stress this enough. People just don't have breakers. People just hate breakers. What is your problem with a breaker? You have cleaners. You have Lando T, you have all these good mons, but none of these mons gives you that oomph. That, oh my god, this Pokemon is a huge threat. I do not know how I'm going to stop this Pokemon from just killing something. This is what your team doesn't have, is that. And for a team that's this bulky and has so much momentum, has so much pivoting potential, has so much bulk, has all these good hazards, you do not have the breaker to abuse all the stuff you have. You only have setup. You can set up with your Gyarados, Dragonets, but you can't immediately come in and click something, which is my problem with this team. You do have all this stuff, but that's my problem. You just don't have anything. Also, your speed tiers are fucking garbage, alright? The only thing you have over 100 base speed is this furry and this bee. This bee movie. Rabombi. It's a bee. It has to be a bee because that's bee in its name. So yeah, you like jazz looking ass and this furry. That's all you have over 100. Over 100, not 100. Over 100. Okay? Difference. And a Rabombi is not a threat. So either they're outspeeding this Jirachi or they're outspeeding nothing and they just run adamant. In my opinion. That's what I would run on my breakers. Anyways, that's my problem. You have solid bulk. You have solid momentum. You have solid hazards. But nothing to abuse it. Absolutely nothing. You also have good Unova. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Next up, we have GG Timlo. Now, you might be wondering, how can Mega Mala plus Lobro plus Hydreigon be so low on the draft? First of all, this is 7th. That's not too low. That's just under half. And I've seen Mega Mala plus Lobro be drafted a million times. It never works out. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna get this Trick Room support for my Mega Mala and it's just gonna claim. And then it never does. It never works out. It just never ends up working out the way you want it to. And it's just how it be. It's just how it be, dude. I never see it work. I would love to see you prove me wrong. Everybody, this goes for everybody I talked about. And everybody I'm going to talk about. I would love to see you prove me wrong about all the stuff I say. That would be fantastic. It would make my day. But then again, your only fast stuff is a Talonflame in a milk tank. A milk tank. And a Reshiram. The wireless connection. That is... I don't like it. I don't like how slow your draft is. All my fast breakers will... My Kartana will run adamant. You can't stop me. You can't stop that I will run adamant on my Kartana. You can't stop that. Absolutely nothing. And I'm just gonna start to say it. Your team feels like a failed abortion version of a Trick Room. Failed abortion version of a Trick Room. I don't know if that's even English at this point, but that's what this team feels like. It feels like it wanted to be a Trick Room team, but failed. It was born a Trick Room team. Yeah, hell yeah, I want to be Trick Room. No, fuck. I don't want to be Trick Room no more. That's what this team feels like. So, again, Hoopa you could have used Trick Room. I think Hoopa you could have been fantastic. Could have been fast. Could have been... You have power though. I'll give you that. So it's not for power. It's just for Trick Room abuser, I guess. Anyways, 6th is Husky Penguin. Look, I love myself some Weavile and some Mega Medicham, but this team feels so random. It doesn't feel like there was much synergy going on when you made this. Because you have this Mandibus, you have this Weavile, and you have this Medicham. What the hell are the rest doing? What the fuck is this? This is a little grabber thing. This is what I used to scratch my... No, this is what I used like in kindergarten. Like way back to like dig up sand from the kindergarten. From like the sand boxes, you know? I used that thing to dig that up. Why do you have this on your team? What the hell is it going to do? What the fuck is this? What the hell is this? Is this a cocoon? Are you drafting a I feel like you drafted the wrong butterfly, my guy. I feel like you wanted something else here. So I don't know why you have these two. Personally, this is gonna sort of just say that. But the rest are okay, I guess. Extra Gel feels hella random here though. It's a very bad steel type to have. That's your only steel type. And you have okay rocks. Okay, you have really good rocks actually. You have a good... You have good hazards outside from Sticky Whips. Maybe you could have liked Sticky Whips, but not very needed because you have a Weavile. Your speed are okay. Your speeds are... I say that, but they're not. They're not okay, bro. They're not okay. What happened after Celebi, bro? Extra Drill is the second fastest after Celebi. Oh no. What happened? What happened here, bro? What happened? What happened to your draft? Your speeds are whack. Half your mons are whack. And it feels very bulky, but you also have this cool power core, which I love. I love these 4 mons that I'm turning blue right now. I love those. I love those. Keep that up. Good job. Good job, man. I'll give some clap. Those 4 are cool, but the rest are ass. I don't know why you have those. And for 5th, we have my boy Cobra. Cobra's a homie. This was hard to find like negative parts about this team, but the only reason why this is 5th is because I liked other teams better. I just liked other teams better. This team has solid bulk. You can't even deny that. This team is going to be hard to break. But at the same time, you don't have very good breakers. You have them though. You do have breakers. So, what I put in my notes is you could use a little bit more oomph. Just a little bit more oomph on this team, I feel like. Because these three that I'm turning blue right now, they're okay. They're okay. But they're not good enough, in my opinion. They're not good enough. I don't think Obstagoon is the wave. I don't think that's a very good one, but it's a breaker. It's a knockoffer. You also have good rocks, though. Alright, I'll give you that. You have 4 rockers, and they're all good at it. They're all really good at it. So, you're gonna get hazards up. You're most likely gonna have those up. So good job. Good job, Cobra. I like your draft. Just other drafts are just simply better. Next up, we have a person. How do you come up with these names? That's so crazy, bro. I have the most simplest name you know. That's such a simple name. Is it? Is that a simple name? I don't know. But you have a person. I wanna be friends with you, dog. You probably seem like a very chill person to name yourself a person. Like that name. Anyways, enough of that. I would hate to be the person prepping for this, bro. What the fuck is this core, dude? You have some walls. You have Wish Pass. You have a Tyranitar. No, not you have a Heatran. You have a Toxapex. You have a Gliscor. You have a fucking... What the hell? You got some power. You got some speed. But I guess your fastest mon is really slow, right? So I feel like it's a slow draft. Because your fastest mon's a Mega Gallade and Latios. But other than that, I really like this team. I really like it. I feel like it's going to be an issue and a pain to prep for. Other than that, you do have firepower. Mega Gallade is insane. Hard as fuck to wall. Gliscor can be run offensively. Latios, insane Pokemon. Heliolisk, even that, I don't know why Heliolisk is actually there though. That is also one thing I do not like your last 4 mons. I'm just going to say that. Latios, this thing, and this thing. All the ones from Turning Blue. I think those could have been done better. I love your 5 first mons, but the rest are kind of meh. You gotta maybe spend your points a bit better on these, in my opinion. But other than that, I really like your draft. I really like it. The 3rd place, I'm not gonna ask a drum roll. I was about to, but I'm not gonna do it. Is we have Spike 4972. Oh boy. This team got defense. And I'm talking defense in all capital letters. Fucking the Mexicans cannot go over this wall. I'm telling you. They will not be able to penetrate this wall. That might be racist. But I'm not sorry. I could see this team though have troubles breaking some certain matchups. Like Skarmory will be a problem versus this team. Corviknight will also be a problem versus this team. You will struggle with those. Because Lopunny is cool, but it gets walled by some stuff. And when it's walled, it's walled. It can't really do much. So that's like one thing. You're weak to those mons in particular. Those steel flying types are a problem for you. Or steel psychic types even. Stuff that resists, a steel type that resists Defining Stab from Mega Lopunny could be a problem versus you. And you have solid speeders. I would say you have solid speeders. And yeah, I don't know. I really like you even got Wish for your team with Tapu Fini and Ferrothorn. They love Wish, so good job, bro. Good job. Solid draft in my opinion. Might, but still, might have trouble with those few. So look out for those. Be careful of that. And from me to you, from me to you, just personally, like as homie to homie, that you might have trouble with those. Be careful of those. So, 2nd place goes to Rocky, the big rocker, the big Koga. I love your draft. Like your team, I have no issues with your team. I'm just straight up gonna say, I have no issues. You have defense. You even got the Suicune. Wink, wink. It's because I'm winking at you because I drafted Suicune as well. So, good job, I like that. Your team just hits hard as well. With the power of Victini, Garchomp. Shit! Have fun. Even Raichu to some extent. Can Thunderbolts. Surf. Be annoying. Comfig and clean easily. Pangoro hits like a fucking truck. Don't forget about that. I guess you could say your draft is a little bit on the slow side. Which is fair. It is a bit on the slow side. But you can run Scarf Victini. You have priority in triage. You have a Raichu, I guess, in some speed control. So you have options. You're not too worried about it. But that is like the one thing. You also got hazards. You do. This thing is a hazard in itself. So I honestly can't find much bad about this team. You got amazing cleaning and breaking potential with this team. Like, bro, Can't wait. Can't wait to watch some of your games. I think it's gonna be fun. But yeah, I can't say too much good about your team because I do not want you in my DMs being like, Shoddy, thank you for all the compliments. I love you, wanna marry me. You never got any compliment in my life. I am just making fun of you. Chillax. It's okay. And I didn't mean to click off your team. Sorry about that. So, yeah, so I can't boost your ego too much because I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not trying to stroke you off here. So yeah, first place goes to P McGee. PMC McGee. McGee, that's how you say McGee, right? McGee. Yeah, you don't have it as your Pee-wee McGee XXX. That's your showdown name. Nice. Good name. I like that name. And you're... Oh, Jesus Christ. I just noticed you're holy shit. What the hell? Why is she trying to murder me? What the hell did I do to you, Igglybuff? Sorry. My bad. Zapdos plus Mega Diancie. Do I even have to say something about that? It is exactly what I said earlier. A Defogger high tier, a Rocker high tier. Fantastic. You got solid momentum, Scizor, absolutely powerful. Greninja, power. Parting Shot, Silvally, easy. My only issue with your team is the fact that it's missing a Dragon type. And even then, you still have Dragon Silvally if you need to. It's not like you're ever missing a type, because you have that one. But a Dragon type could have been useful on this draft. The only thing, the one you could switch out is easily switch out this thing. Hoopa C. I don't think you need Hoopa C on this team. I think it's just very out of place. But that's it. That's it. You have solid speed. You have like one of the best hazards. This team right here that you have right now, I would love to use this team in draft myself, to try out this and just use this as a monster of a team. This could be so much fun. Good job on this, bro. I'm honestly jealous. Honestly jealous of you because that team is fire. But that's gonna wrap up the Reshiram division. Yeah, I have realized I've been recording for such a long time, so I'm just gonna get into this. This is me. Yes, I'm in this division. I'm just gonna start out with saying I'm not including my own team. I'm not going to at all. So 11th place goes to Lucifer. 3 of these mods I've seen on the team before. I wonder. I think I saw these 3 were on the same team. Actually, no, did I? I don't know. I can't remember. I think I saw it. I feel like I saw it. Anyways, this team lacks power. You need to set up to have power. You have a Blacephalon and that's it. That's it. Blacephalon is not good enough. It's not good enough. You need a physical breaker as well. You can only set up with Dragon Dance, like Aerodactyl, Mega Scizor, and Dog. They all need setup to win though. That's your problem. They all need setup. Your team is so passive. It feels so passive. You're gonna struggle to taunt. You're gonna get just toxic to death, even though you have the terrain. You're still gonna get toxic to death. I do not care about your damn terrain. A team with Mega Scizor could benefit from a bigger rocker than you have, in my opinion. Your rockers is a Celebi and an Aerodactyl. And you need a good rocker with Mega Scizor, because it gets so much momentum, can knock off so many boots and stuff, because fire types switches into it so you can knock off boots. So a team with Mega Scizor benefits from better rockers than what you have. So 10th is Omen Shinak. Omen Shinak. I'm gonna call you Omen Shinak. This is Mega Slowbro, by the way. You can see it over here. The text, it's Mega Slowbro, but it doesn't show. I will say, this team has the same issues. It's passive, but it's less passive than the other one. Because you have a Terrakion. You have a Breaker. You have one of them. Thank God. The rest of your team needs to set up. Florges sucks. Alright, let's just be real. It sucks. It's so passive. This is another one of those really passive teams. Florges is bad. Your walls are ass. They don't dish out any damage. They just simply do not. This Fortress is not going to dish out any damage. This Nidoqueen is just going to piss on some Pokemon. Some matchups. Your speed types are also bad. Your fastest mon is Lando I. Again, I say Lando. Tornadus Eye. That's not very good. That's not very good. You don't have 100 base either. Like, it goes from Terrakion to... Is Rotom Heat the fastest? Yeah, it literally goes from Terrakion to Rotom Heat. Yeah, this is a very painful draft to look at, my guy. I'm sorry, it's just painful. And ninth, we have Gliscor. I had to move on. I'm sorry, I just had to move on real quick. I faced this team week 1, so I know. So I've seen a bit more what this team can do than all the others. And when prepping, I noticed your lack of power. You don't have any power on this team. You can't break anything. You have a Vikavolt, sure, but that's about it. That's about it. That's the only power you got. That's that Vikavolt. And the rest of you just gotta kind of... Maybe a Life for Arcanine? Don't know. Greninja? You have hazards, I'll give you that. You have good hazards. Your movers is pretty bad though. They're low tier. I said Crobat does not want to run defog most of the time. Hitmontop is a good spinner though. That is the one thing I'll give you. But it's not going to come every game. It's not going to. That's just simple. But I will give you a plus for having Zygarde 50. Because that's a bitch to prep for. And I know it is. You also have webs, which your team can't abuse at all. Because, you know, still no breakers. You know? So, just going to move on. Your team is passive. It has good defense though. That's a good thing. You have very good defense. I like your defense. But I don't like your offense. I do not. So, moving on. To 8th. Which is... Where's the team? There it is. Dr. Ugly. Okay, I know I'm not the only one seeing this. This is the worst fire water grass core I've ever seen. Your fire water grass core consists of 2 waters and a fire type. You ditched the grass type. You said, fuck it, I don't want you. And you just grabbed 2 water types in a Camerupt. Your fire type is a fucking Camerupt. Your dragon type is a Drampa. A Drampa. I haven't seen that mon since 1999. Who uses a Drampa? What the hell is that? Your speed tears are wilding. They're not good at all. They jump from 121 to 100. Your draft is slow outside of that. Outside of Tornadus Tyrion, your draft is slow. And I love Tornadus Tyrion, right? So you'll get some hit points for that. And also, you have Cresselia plus Megamama. Another Trick Room thing that will probably not work out the way you want it to. But you have the Trick Room, I guess. So yeah, I simply do not like your draft. It feels... it's missing... way too much. I keep hitting my fan. I'm sorry, I can't turn you on right now. I'm sorry, bro. You make too much noise for the video. I'm sweating like balls. I'm literally dying of thirst and everything right now. But I'm gonna power through it. Power through it for you guys. Next up, we have Sad Machine, which is 7th, by the way. I'll just say that. 7th. This is the slowest sand team that I've ever seen. You need sand up to have speed. Other than that, you have 100 base speed. That's your fastest mon outside of sand. That is not good. That is not good. I don't like that. I do not like the Manaphy is your fastest Pokemon. And that thing wants bulk. That's the funny thing. Manaphy doesn't even want to run much speed. It wants to run bulk. It wants to be bulky so it can take a hit. So, this team just feels... It feels slow. It's another one of those... It has a lot of stuff in the 95 to 80 range in base speed. And then it has a lot of 30s, like really low. Okay, I know you have Sneasel, okay? That's over 100. But Sneasel does not count. This Pokemon... I can wipe my ass with this Pokemon, okay? This thing sucks. It gets walled by a fucking Amoonguss. It does not, though. I did do that once. Also, you struggle with ghosts. You have no ghost resists. Your ghost resist is this Sneasel. So if a ghost type like a good ghost type fights you, you're done. You're done for. What the hell can you do versus a good ghost type? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That Sneasel will not save you. You can pursue trap, I guess, but you can't switch into them. And even after that, you need to be banded Sneasel to mostly kill anyways. So something can just abuse your pursuit, which is a 40 base power move if I don't switch out and set up on it and just win. So I also don't like your walls. They're very passive. Like Moltres, Yuxi, Chestnut, Aromatisse, Drifblim, Gigalith, all feels really passive to me. I guess Gigalith can explode. It can die. But you do have a lot of power. Even though I say your walls are passive, you have a lot of power still. Because of the fact that Extra Garchomp, and Manaphy. Manaphy's a bitch. Hate that one. Next, in 6th place, we have Choco. Choco. I've seen this draft before. Or something like close to it. In these 3 Pokemons right here. And it didn't work out. Granted, you're not the same player. Right? You're not the same player. You're a completely different player. But this draft isn't very good. Because your walls are bad. Simply. It's just straight up put up. You don't have a good wall. No recovery. I don't know why Regieleki's on this team. Your team is bad speeders as well. Because Comfy, I don't think Comfy is like a speed tier Pokemon. Because it's all this stuff is triage. Like everything you're gonna do with this Pokemon is triage. It's priority, like +3 priority. So this thing doesn't really count that much in speed, but it's gonna outspeed everything, right? That's just what this thing does. So your jump is pretty much from Mega Lopunny to Lando. And I don't like that. That's a huge jump. That's a mega jump right there. And yeah, this has power. Sure. And it's gonna be hard to wall your whole team because you have a Hoopa-U, this thing, and 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 this thing. Like all your stuff has power. But you don't have much wallage. Wallage. Is that a wall? Is that a word? Definitely not. I've never heard the word wallage in my whole life. I just made that up. But yeah, you don't have much of that. You don't have much of whatever wallage is. And I don't like that. Anyways, at 5th, we have AC130, aka the owner. And may I tell you, owner guy, what the hell is this? Why did you draft a why did you literally draft a pussy on your team? And a butt plug. You actually drafted a butt plug and a pussy. What the hell is this? What the hell are these two? They're like, what the hell are these on your team? Just take them off. Take them off. You don't need those. Anyways, all this Regigigas, you could have combined all of these for a better pointer. I swear you could have. You don't need these 4. Like this is 4 points right here. Regigigas is 2. This is 1. This is 1. That's 4 points. There has to be a better normal at 4 points than Regigigas. Anyways, my biggest qualm with your team is that you get decked on by electric types because of your own terrain. Your only resists are your breakers, which is your Serp and your Garchomp. They both don't want to switch in and take hits. They do not. So your own terrain dicks on you because your wall core is weak to electric. So you having up electric terrain is not that good. In my opinion, I don't like that. And I feel like this team is very grass weak. Wait, this is a no I have up, right? Even though you have Corviknight, right? But that's it. That's the only grass resist. Like, what the hell do you do versus Rillaboom? Rillaboom can just click, knock off. It can just click Woodhammer. It can just click all these moves. You have one switch in every time. That's all you have. It's the most plain switch in, but it's the most predictable thing ever. And don't get me started on Charge Bug. Don't call that resist. Don't. You're a disgrace if you call that resist to anything. The only thing that thing belongs to is a pocket pussy. That's what it is. That's the only thing it is. Nothing more, nothing else. Anyways, over to fourth. We have a Supernova. Supernova. You know, I feel like I've seen these three Pokemon before. It's quite weird. Quite weird. Oh, I've seen these three mons on another team before. Crazy. Crazy. You have very few walls, but you have very good ones. You have Vaporeon, Aggron, Gliscor, and potentially Mew. Straightforward. Those four. The rest are cleaners. And that's where my problem lies. So Aurora's a good cleaner, Kartana's a good cleaner, Volcarona's a good cleaner, Gliscor can even be a good cleaner. But you just don't have no breaker. And I swear to God, people are allergic to those breakers, man. You have a Kartana, yes. But I don't feel like that's a good enough consistent breaker that can just open up holes in teams. You need to like set up. You know, Volcarona's a setup mon. It needs to set up. But I will say though, this is finally a team that benefits from its webs. Finally, a web abuser team that actually abuses the webs. Finally, I do appreciate you for having that. So, yeah, that's just my only qualm with it. It's the little amount of, it needs some more oomph, you know. So, a third place goes to DJ Barrera. I'm just straight up gonna say it. What the hell are these for? If you had drafted these four mons differently, I would have loved your draft way more. But these four mons are what's keeping this draft from just being god tier. What the hell is these for? They're never gonna come. None of them. They're just worse mons than what you already have. All these mons are just worse. Cloud9, Golduck, what the hell? That's just anti-synergy. You don't need any of these Pokemon. They're all useless. All of them. You have better... all your mons does what these two does, but better. That's my problem with this team. It's those. It's just those four mons are so bad. And you only have one Defogger. So rocks can be a problem, especially when your Defogger is weak to rocks, because you can't run boots because you have to run the weather thing on it. So yeah, that's my biggest problem with this team, is that those four mons and it has lackluster. And outside of rain, this team is pretty slow. Keldeo is fast, but it's a rain team, so it's gonna have rain up for the most part, and you also have priority, so it's not too much of an issue. It's just something that I want to mention. That outside of rain, you're slow as hell. Now might be because these four Pokemon right here that are hella useless, never gonna come. And if I see those things, you're throwing. But I do love the synergy though of Celesteela, Kyurem, and Rillaboom. That's pretty good. I like that. I'm gonna move on now to Jigglypigs. Jigglypigs, I always love your drafts, bro. You draft some good stuff. You're a good player. I like Jigglypigs. I wish we was friends. Anyways, Jigglypigs, your draft is wild. You have Melmetal plus a fucking, what's it called? Mega DNC. That's amazing. Mega DNC struggles with all these steel type, all these Pokemons. Registeel, this thing can just come in on him. This thing can just come in on him and just sit there and just be annoying. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. But my team... but my biggest problem is with this team is the fact that it has no Leech Seed. I feel like Leech Seed could be really helpful with this team. Especially when you have all these like Pokemons. Like just having like a Leech Seed. Get a Leech Seed. Get some health back on these mons. You also have powers. I love your power. You have some good breakers, good cleaners. You even have Wish Pass. I just don't feel like this thing's gonna come very many games. You have good course. I love it. Solid Fire Water Grass core. Solid Steel Fairy Dragon core. Just overall, really solid team. Good job on this. I really like your team. And now, the last team that I have to talk about is my man Charles. Charles, said, I'm gonna drop my team. I'm gonna drop this Mega Alakazam right after draft, and I'm gonna pick it back up again. Charles, I just want to know, I'm just gonna say this personally from me to you. I was literally an inch. Alright? I was an inch away from picking that Mega Alakazam up. I was so close to just taking it from you. So it was almost like you didn't have this team. I was almost gonna take it away from you because you dropped it for a few, and that was you just slipping up. That was a bad move. But I would say I love the Zapdos. I love Zapdos plus Mega Alakazam. Mega Alakazam struggles with all these steel types, and Zapdos does not. It loves those. It punishes them with static. It's a solid Pokemon. It gives momentum. It gives defog. You have a Blissey. I love Blissey. Blissey is amazing. You have these good rockers. The biggest problem is your team might be a bit fairy weak. Like, because your steel type kind of don't resist it, and you have a quad weak Pokemon in this thing. But you do have Blissey, which is good, but that loses to Taunt, so be careful of that. So Gardevoir, that's good. That can be a problem versus your team. I can see that. I can see Gardevoir being a huge problem. So yeah, just keep a lookout for those. But other than that, really solid bulk all around. Good Foggers, good Brockers. Said it all before. You even have Court Change. Amazing. Good team. Good team. Really like it. And that's gonna be it. That's it for this power rankings. I'm sorry that this video was incredibly long. I did not mean for it to get this to go out this length. I'm sorry about that. It's just I felt like I talked the fastest I could. I felt like I did. But when you have to rank so many teams, I guess it's just what happens. So yeah, I apologize for the length, and I hope you enjoy. I will see you guys. I won't see you guys again. I'm not gonna record anything for this league unless they ask me to. I'll record stuff for you if you want to. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed these. Hope you're not too angry about me putting you where I put you. And leave a comment. You can type in the comments if you have something. So if you want to say like, oh, your draft is ass. I hate your. Why didn't you rank your own draft? Ooga booga. You know, something like that. I don't know. Say whatever you want in the comments, dude. Get this video popular. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. I'm dragging this shit out. Sorry. Bye bye. I can stop recording.